It's time to catch up on a few emails again. We're going to get right back to it. I'm going to start something a little bit different this week. Instead of read you the email, that's kind of boring, you can read most of these emails on the screen. So I'm going to summarize them even quicker and get right to the answer. For example, here's one from Lisa, who says she cannot get emails from her sister in Utah. They have a lot of email addresses, and she's not sure what to do. And unfortunately, Lisa, I cannot help you either. I need a lot more information. I need to know what email program you're using, what your email address service provider is, whether you're using Yahoo, Google, AOL, MSN. You give me nothing to go on, so unfortunately I can't help you with this particular question. Maria is writing in and asking about using an alternative browser, either Firefox or Chrome, the new Google Chrome. I think either one of those are much better than using Secure IE like she's using now, or anything to do with Internet Explorer. If you're a serious computer user and you're serious about keeping your Windows computer clean, make sure you do not use Internet Explorer. Oliver from Raleigh, North Carolina has a computer that keeps waking up and going to sleep randomly, and he's wondering, why does it keep doing that? Well, the sleep function is controlled by going to the control panel. Under the control panel, go to your display options or power options. You can go either way. And if you're in the display options, go to screensaver and then power settings. Or if you're in the power options, you'll be right there. I recommend for desktop computers, leave them on. Don't put it into sleep mode. I get more questions about people having trouble with sleep mode than almost any other question universally. And for a desktop computer, leave it on when you're using it. Shut it off at night when you're not using it, and you'll have a lot less problems. So disable the sleep mode. The reason why it's probably waking up at times is because there's some program that it needs to wake the computer up to do an update, do a scan, something like that. It could be a lot of different things. Anne's writing about a Service Pack 3 option. She notices that it's a huge upgrade and wondering if it is necessary. If you have a computer like Compaq or HP, go to the website or any of the websites, Dell, whoever, who built your computer, go to the support section and look up Service Pack 3. In some cases, you may have to download some updates for your computer before you go with the Service Pack 3 update. Otherwise, you could have some problems. Richard's writing in asking about MightyFax and whether he needs a separate phone line to use MightyFax, which is a PC-based fax system, or can he just use his... You have to have a phone cable connected to your computer before you use any kind of PC-based faxing system. If you receive a lot of faxes, you're going to need to have a separate phone line so you don't constantly have to be figuring out whether it's a fax or a phone. But if you're only using it for sending primarily, you're probably going to be okay with one phone line. Wilma writes in that she is using a tip that I have on my website on how to put a preview button on your Outlook Express or Windows Mail so that you can toggle on and off the preview pane underneath that area. And she's wondering, where did the button go after she enabled it? Well, if you got the button enabled, Wilma, you're going to have a little button on your toolbar that just says preview. And by clicking it, you'll be able to toggle the preview pane on and off simply by clicking that button. So if you don't see that button on your toolbar, go through the steps again and you will be able to get it. Dave's writing in with two questions. His first question is why I don't do the radio show any longer. I still do it once a month on the third Wednesday of the month locally here at KAFM. I gave it up weekly because I was making $0 doing the radio show every single week for 3 hours, and it just didn't work out financially. Too much time, not enough return on that investment. Zero is not a good return anytime. Second question is, how can you get information about slow computer disease? You wrote SDC in your email. Go to the website, search for SCD, slow computer disease, SCD, and you'll get the information you want. Thanks for writing in, Dave. Don appears to be using Windows 2000 and Outlook Express and having an error I haven't seen in a long time, an MSOE.dll error. And there's two things you can try to do to correct that, Don, and I've got two links for you. Here they are, tinyurl.com/34hdf and tinyurl.com/3xygdg. So there's the links for you. Type them in your address bar just as that is. The first one is a link directly from Microsoft, should get you going. The second one is another tech site that has more detailed information if the first one doesn't work. Good luck, Don. Gary formats his computer every 12 months just to keep it running fresh. If you have the time to do it, you certainly will have a much cleaner running computer, but he doesn't want to have to reactivate his computer all the time with Windows, and he knew that there was some kind of a file that he could back up and then use that backup to reinstall Windows without having to do the activation every time. Well, the file is called the wpa.dbl file, and if you back that file up, put it onto a flash drive, and then reinstall it onto your computer when you reformat, you'll be able to get your computer up and running without activating. Gary, here's the address, tinyurl.com/4gvj56, and it's a great site that has a step-by-step on exactly where that file is located, how to back it up, and then where to put it and how to put it in after you reinstall Windows. That should get you going. Shannon's using Windows Vista and has a little box that keeps popping up over everything her mouse pointer touches. Shannon, I think what you're describing is what's called a tooltip. And if I hover my mouse on different things around the computer, you'll get a little box that pops up and tells you what that is. You can disable the tooltips in different programs by going into their options or preferences. If you're getting this globally and the messages maybe don't even make sense, you might have something else going on with your computer. But if it's just the tooltips and the programs you want to get rid of, look in the preferences or the options to get rid of that. Bobby's using Firefox 3, and when she clicks on an email link in her browser, it pulls up her old Gmail account versus Outlook, which is what she wants to use. And she's wondering how can she get that fixed. Two things you need to try. Number one, in your Firefox, go to Tools and Add-ons. Make sure you don't have some third-party add-on that allowed Firefox to automatically link up to your Gmail account, because I think that's one thing you need to check first. So that's under Tools and Add-ons, and then disable or uninstall that tool. Second thing you can do is go to Tools and Options in Firefox. You get this screen, click the Applications tab, and if you scroll through, you're going to find the option that says Mail To. Now to the right of Mail To, you can click and then choose what program you want to use, or you can choose Always Ask, and then the first time it comes up you can choose Outlook and then tell it to save that preference. The last question of the day is from Bill. Bill's asking how to properly back up his Windows Mail email in Windows Vista. The way to back it up, Bill, and anyone else out there wants to do this, is go to Windows Explorer or go to My Computer. Make sure that you're viewing hidden files and folders, because it is a hidden folder that you're looking for, and then you're going to navigate down to your users folder, click on the name of the user, then go to App Data, the folder called App Data, then Local, and then Microsoft, and then lastly the Windows Mail folder. And if you back up that entire Windows Mail folder, that will get all of your email. It's not your address book, that's just your email, but if you use that, you'll be able to back that up. Well, that's it again for another edition of Rick Answers His Email. Keep sending those emails over at helpmerick.com. I'll be glad to answer them as you send them.